We are back. Hello, it's day 14 of Miracle March. Guys, I'm super excited to be here again today. I'm actually a little bit more fired up because yesterday was absolutely amazing. Yesterday was my birthday, and the Go Giver birthday celebration was a tremendous success. We had over, I think it was 12 something, 1,200 and whatever number of people registered to be there. And man, what a success. All of the speakers were amazing. And it was just a time of giving back. The people who were there, they received so much value. Man, like they learned about how to invest into private jets, how to invest into real estate, like midterm rentals. Like there was just so much value given for free yesterday. And the recording is going to be right here on this YouTube channel at Kess on Purpose. So stay locked in. Make sure you like and subscribe because it's good. We're just gonna have a whole lot of content. And guys, Miracle March, the intention as to why we do Miracle March, it's because it's an intentional month of transforming minds by influencing, coaching, and motivating aspiring entrepreneurs while empowering them with tools to succeed. That's our mission here at Purpose Ways. And it's been so amazing to help so many people. We've done 13 people so far. We missed on the 14 simply because, well, if we added in yesterday, the number would be hundreds. The impact expanded yesterday. So, but individually, this is the 13th person, and we have Brianca here with me today. Brianca, what's up? How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am doing amazing. So, guys, a little pre-show talk, right? We're hanging out backstage, and Brianca was like, "Man, what am I getting into here?" And she like absolutely no idea what she signed up for. And like, this is your show. I am here to serve you. So tell the people a little bit about who you are, and then ask the one question you said you had.
Yeah, right. So I'm Brianca. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm a mother of two. I am a wife. I have been a realtor for 16 years. I'm licensed in three states, California, North Carolina, and South Carolina. My biggest year was 2021, as it may have been for a lot of people, but I found myself on the wrong side of real estate. I was in retail. My
Mm.
dad had always preached to me investments, investing. So here I am and trying to, break into this side of things.
So you're a new investor, or shifting the mindset from the just being a traditional realtor to investor. What's that journey like for you so far?
Um, There are things that are similar, but it is completely different. It is so different, especially when you talk about purchasing creatively. It's an
Mm.
entirely different world. So, um, when I study for things, which I have no problem doing when I'm learning a new curriculum, I have no problem taking a test. I'm like, all right, let's test, let's do it, let's make it happen. I usually will just get all the documentation, I put it in a binder, and I go to Staples and get it bound, and I just stick my head in the books and get to know the contracts so I know what I'm talking about. But so, it takes that studying and that dedication to kind of, get to know something completely new.
How have you been doing that um, in your investing journey so far?
I will say I've been doing a lot of content absorption. Gosh, I will say too, going to the daily dials with Sub 2. I met you there. Maybe I didn't meet you formally, but I listened to you. And one of those times I woke up and you were literally preaching to me. And I will say that it completely changed my trajectory, honestly. And that was only a couple weeks ago, where I was kind of just in this funk of not moving forward, but you kind of explain the paradigms and how you kind of have to shut down that voice that's always trying to talk you out of things. So when I kind of personified that voice as like a person that I can slap around and say, be quiet, it really helped me. So,
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
So what voice have you been dealing with? What's that voice
Um,
for you?
when it was there, honestly, I don't feel like it's there much anymore. But it was, I want to say it was procrastination, fear, mainly fear of the no's, right? When you're talking to sellers, and when you replace fear with knowledge, then it kind of gives you confidence, right? So,
Yeah.
um, and then experience you get just gives you that confidence as well. Um, so I would say the fear of rejection, but also taking into account after listening to you and listening to so many others, it's like you have to have the no's in order to get to the yes. And now I'm saying that like you got to hit those no's to get to the
Mhm.
yes. So I'm kind of looking for them now, versus shying away from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that, and congrats on making that step, because that by itself has and will open up so many more opportunities. And so you've gotten to another stage. And so what would you say you're dealing with now, since you've been
Mhm.
able to cross that stage of procrastination? What would you say
Yeah.
is the thing that you're kind of dealing with now?
Um, just setting up systems, efficiency. I don't like being inefficient, wasting my time.
Mhm.
I'm working with a battle buddy right now, so that's been helpful. But I wanna call way more people in a day. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
many road bumps in the road or bad numbers and things like that. So honestly, I feel like I'm hungry and I'm there, mindset wise, and now I just want a roadmap, and that's why I wanted to talk to you. I was just like, how the heck did he go from 0 to 21 in 1 year? Like, what mindset do I have to be at for that? That's what I want to know.
Do you believe you could do it?
Well, I'm sure my body language just told you everything right there. Um, what do they say? 77% body language is probably higher than that. Um, could I handle it? Yes. Can I achieve it? I'd have to know what that KPI is. Like, how many no's would I have to get to 21 yeses in a year? If I know that number, maybe I'll be able to.
I mean, why stop at 21? Why not go for 50 or 100?
Absolutely. Why not? Why
Why
not?
why are you even why are you even doing real estate?
Um, to bring others along that have no idea about real estate and how it can benefit their lives. Um, there's so many people that are lacking in this
Mhm.
world, and anybody can do real estate. So
Who would you bring
yeah.
along?
Um, people that just don't even think it's possible to live in the 1% or live really in the 50%, people that are underprivileged. That's what I would say.
Why underprivileged people?
Why not? Like, why can't everybody have a piece of the American dream or a piece of the pie? Why does everyone have to struggle? Or why does anyone have to struggle? You don't if you have the
Right.
information and you act on it.
So,
I think it's
but
too much opportunity.
so there's a lot of people um who may not know real estate, but they're still underprivileged, and so there's a lot of different subcategories of people.
Mhm.
So I want to go deeper and understand your connection to people, right? Because people
Okay.
is broad. That's going into the ocean and saying,
Mhm.
I want water, right? So
That's horrible. Okay. So
so
sorry.
let's define people. Who would you want to help?
Okay, so my vision recently, so I grew up in church, and I feel like I saw a lot of people giving their last to the church, which is fine, that's faith. But I feel like, why does it have to be their last? So I feel like if I can get on stages in next to pastors in the pulpit and just bring the church along, how much of a blessing could the people of the church be to all the people that they want to be a blessing to but can't? So those are
Mhm.
the people that I think of.
So you want to be able to help the church.
Yeah,
Because people in church, a lot of people in church is broke, right? That's
exactly.
that's
Exactly.
it is what it is.
Right.
And so cool. Does it make you nervous to help them?
Yeah, because you have to be an example, right?
Yep.
So that's what I'm working on. Being an example and a leader, so I have to practice what I preach, right?
How much does it fire you up to go back and help these people?
I'm excited. I'm excited as long as, I'm able to do it, but I know I can do it. So it's just like I need to hurry up and get my stuff done because that's the goal. The goal of me doing getting the reps, doing it by example, that's just the first start. It's
Mhm.
like I need to fast forward through that so I can get to the people. So
Yeah.
I need to build that roadmap and I need to do it quickly.
Was there anything, and I'm asking these questions to go somewhere, right?
Sure, sure.
Was there anything that happened particularly that you remember in church that
Mhm,
may have bothered you enough
mhm.
to want that to make that difference?
Um, well, not all churches are made the same, but sometimes there's an inequality of wealth and an imbalance. And yes, the pastor is supposed to be blessed, right? But if he's rolling around in a Bentley and people of the church are taking buses to get to church, I just don't feel like um, that is the way that it was intended. So I feel that everyone in the church should be able to be a blessing to those they want to bring along and spread, you know, the word. But no one's going to, not no one, but most people, if you're not successful, um, whether it's wisdom, finances is kind of one of the first things people see, right? So if you're
Mhm.
struggling, it's like, do I want to follow that God? I don't know about that. You know what I mean? So,
So would you want to follow the pastor with a broken down Civic or a Bentley?
right. That's right. Hey, double-edged sword, right? I like how you just threw that back at me. But does it have to be a Bentley or can it just be a moderate? clean, nice car, you know? This, I mean,
Why? Why not a Bentley?
when others in the church are giving their last and maybe don't even have a car, can't that Bentley be broken down into maybe 2 or 3 cars? Or a bus that helps those that want to come to the church and give to the church, help them out in some sort of way. I don't know. I feel
I
like
see.
that money could be better spent. Maybe real estate, not a depreciating asset like a car or a Bentley.
What if he has businesses that allows him to buy a Bentley and he deserves a Bentley, or he loves these types of cars?
Yeah.
What stops him from doing these things? Or he's as busy as Grant Cardone and he gotta fly and go all these different places, and so he buys a private jet for
Mhm.
convenience.
Yeah, I get that.
What's
Hey, you maybe you're right. Maybe you're sharing with me, something that I haven't seen or realized before. Because if you are successful, do you have to give it all away? No, no.
Well, you don't have to give it all away,
Right.
but even if you give, are you not supposed to enjoy? Like when are you
Right.
supposed to enjoy or do whatever you want to with your money, right? Because we talk about heaven on earth, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
Yeah.
pushing back a little because
Yeah.
I'm challenging the mindset because
Yeah.
we're framing the pastor, but you're
Mm-hmm.
also gonna do this for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a limitation based on what you believe you could enjoy because, well, buying that Louis bag might, why? I could just go and get a little North Face bag and be happy with that, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
why?
Mm, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I get it. I get it. Like if you're at a certain point where maybe a Louis bag is like a Michael Kors bag to you, as long as I feel like as long as there's balance, if there's balance, you can't. Yes, enjoy life. Life is too short not to enjoy it, especially when you've worked for it. But I feel like in that position of being a giver, I don't know. I feel like there should definitely be a balance. Not to say that there's not, right? I guess if the pastor is giving all of his time every Sunday and going to prayers with families, who have lost through the week and what's it called? Bible study during the week. Maybe that's, what he's giving, right?
So I let me go further, and I am gonna move the conversation along
Yeah,
your
let's do
way.
it.
Um, but as a pastor, and I've been told that you're gonna be a pastor or whatever, right? I've been told that a few times,
Okay. Okay.
and I said to my wife, I'm like, "There's no way I'm gonna become a." I'm like that until God tells me that I'm not choosing that for myself. I
Yeah.
said, and two, I ain't gonna be no broke pastor, right? Like, I'm not gonna be like this broke dude, just like without,
No.
like, I'm not doing it. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna have a bunch of businesses so that the world can't talk about, oh, look at him and his Bentley, or look at him and his jet. Like, he's
Right.
using the church's money. And it's like, well, not really,
Right.
right? So but why can't someone in that position, especially someone who's giving, someone who is also trying to teach, because here's my concept and here's what I believe. I am not following a broke pastor. I'm not doing it. But here's my principle and my reasoning behind it. The Bible clearly states a certain set of laws and rules in it, and anyone that follows it should be living an abundant life. If this example is broke, it automatically tells me that they're not following principles in that book.
There you go. Okay.
Automatically, right? The same way if someone tells me that, hey, the most money I've made in a year is 50K, I can automatically tell you what kind of habits you have based on paradigms. Your internal world creates your external world. These are laws. These are things that, like, we don't need to have a bunch of conversations on. It is what it is.
Wow.
So a pastor who is not wealthy or whatever, you can't come talk to me about finances. How? You just said you got to practice what you preach, right? So where's the practice there?
You're right. It's like I'm giving him a double standard just because of his position, because I'm saying spread the wealth. So the church is wealthy enough to be an example, but then not have the pastor be an example.
But this goes back to what you would also do for you. The only reason I went down that rabbit hole is because you will do the same thing for you. These are paradigms that has shaped your thought process. And so you would have the ability to enjoy things, but you're always gonna cap it and say, I don't. What would they say? I don't want them to think that I'm overdoing it. So let's just stay right here. We don't need the big house. Because I don't want people to say that, like, we're grateful, we're happy, like there are people over on other sides of the world that don't have anything to eat. So we could just live in this hut right here because,
Not a hut. Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you find yourself doing that? Making decisions based on what other people may think?
Absolutely. Yeah. Even on your birthday bash last night, when Abraham had said he was making $1 million a month, I was like, what the heck do you do with your life after that? Like, to me, that was the ceiling. So, and right after I heard myself, and I was just like, I guess I'm thinking too small, because that's possible. I literally said that in the chat last night on your birthday bash. So now it's replaying right here.
Could I tell you how you're thinking?
Yeah, please do.
You're thinking selfishly is how you're thinking.
Dang, that's terrible. Why?
Because you're thinking about what you could do for you. What would you do with the money for you? I have to be a billionaire. The reason why is because I need to help millions and millions of people for world change and to make some kind of dent in this world. You can't do it with $1 million a month. You need more money than that.
Wow.
See, but you're thinking about what you're going to do for you and your family. And after you get the nice house, what do you do with your life? The reason why I was pressing you as to who you would help is because I wanted to see where you would go and what you would do with your money.
Yeah.
Most people cannot see beyond the white picket fence and traveling around the world and doing things for themselves. and retiring their parents and doing all these cliche cute things.
Yeah. I want to bring people from the church, though, that are poor. I want to teach them. Is that not beyond myself?
I don't hear a burning desire. I hear something that's cool.
Okay. How do I find that then?
Typically it's you trying to help a previous version of yourself. Typically, almost like 90% of the time, when someone finds that thing, it's because they're trying to help a previous version of themselves. I'll tell you why I do what I do. I remember when I had separated from my son's mom, and I bought this. I wanted to buy a house so that I could have, have him come and take my parents over there and all that type of stuff. And so I found this amazing house that was, well, I say amazing, but I found this house that it was so close to like some of the best schools in New York. It was like they had a lot of amenities. They had the mall like right next door. Like you could stand in my yard and look at Walmart. Like it was close to everything, like super close. And I'm like, man, I hit the jackpot. Like, And I remember one Saturday, I was taking my son. I'm like, yo, let's go to the pool. So we went and was, bought floaties, and we're ready. Got the floaties, jumped in the car, head into the pool, got in the line, and you could smell the chlorine, right? The chlorine is beasting, right? And we're in the line, we get to the front, and the guy that was at the front table, it's like, hey, let me see your ID. Pulls out the ID, give it to him, and he is like, oh man, so sorry you can't come in. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I live like less than 5 minutes away. What do you mean I can't come in? And he said, well, if you were only a street over, then you'd be able to come in. See, what I did was I bought a property on the borderline of Queens and Long Island, thinking that I'm like, I got Queens taxes with Long Island amenities. Man, I won.
That's so funny.
See, I didn't hire an expert to tell me, hey, based on your goals, this is what you should do. And this person would have been able to guide me and say, hey, that house is great, but if this is what you want, that's probably not the one for you. You got to be one street across. So we're standing there, and I'm like, dude, like, I'll pay you. Like, what do I need to do? He's like, you can't come in. And so now I'm there with my son, like damn near in tears, because I don't know how to explain to my son that we can't get into the pool right now. And I was so mad. I was mad at the world. I'm like, this is why the rich get richer. And I just went down that rabbit hole for a hot 3 weeks. And then I vowed to myself, I said, you know what, Kes, this is on you. See, you weren't knowledgeable enough to know that where you should have been and how to do it. So instead of blaming rich people, how about you become rich? How about you get knowledge? And when you get knowledge, when I get knowledge, I don't care how much I pay for it. I'm going to give it away. You want to know why I did my birthday bash?
Tell me. You gave it away.
Because I committed to that pain that I got when I didn't have the knowledge. I committed to saying, you know what, when I get knowledge, I'm just going to help those who doesn't know, because I don't want anybody else to have their kids waiting in the pool line and can't get in because they didn't know.
Right.
So I've used that pain and turned it to purpose. And so now what I do is to help people like a previous version of myself have to never go through that again.
Yeah.
So coming back to you now, Brianca, and I don't expect you to have the answer today.
Good.
let me ease the pressure. I don't expect you to have the answer today, but I want you to think about a previous version of Brianca where it's like, man, if I could only speak to that person and let them know that that's not the road they should take, or like if I could help them just not do or make the same mistakes that I've made.
Yep, I like it.
What version would that be?
Okay. No pressure, right?
Something to think about.
Well, I thank you for giving me a direction to look, because all I got to do is look within, essentially. But you giving me the roadmap where to look.
Exactly. Now, if I were to take you back to the question that you originally asked, which was, how did you do this 21 unit thing? It's because I needed to help all those people. So my motivation, like if I hadn't been successful, like I think about millions of people that still need me.
Yeah.
That's why I still wake up. Even after last night, I woke up at 4, and it's because I had all these people that still need me. They're counting on me to be successful. The same way somebody is counting on you. And so I held that in my mind, in the forefront of my mind, and I applied the information. And I could get into strategy. But I don't think you need strategy at this point. You do. I'm not saying you don't.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're mentally not, you don't have something that is going to keep you there when you get the strategy, the strategy would not matter. It will not matter. Everything that you need in strategy is in sub 2. Everything. It's the thought of it being possible and doubling down and having the motivation to do it. And that requires, especially when paradigms already control you, that requires community.
Yeah.
That requires when we're going to the side and it's just like, hey, Bree, you gotta get back in the ring. Like you falling off.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like you need that person that says, hey, why just 21?
Yeah, I 100% could see myself like, I'm good. 21, I'm super comfortable. 100%.
Why?
Because it's not bigger than me, like you said. It's got to be stronger than, I got to find that version of myself in the past that this Brianca wants to help that old Brianca. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear.
I thought my why was pretty good, but you cut right through that. Nah, that's not firing you up.
It's cute. It's cute. I want to help people in the church too, but it's not the thing that makes me tick.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a thing that I'll do in passing,
Yeah.
but it's not the thing that makes me get up every day and be like, I gotta do this for my people.
Right.
Like, even when I work out to get some extra reps, sometimes I keep my family in the front of my mind. Sometimes, like a lot of the times, it's my clients, and it's like, how do I revolutionize the way that mindset is looked at
Mhm.
to be something where people want to be able to be in a community of someone who, because
Right.
changing your paradigms, you could understand exactly what I'm saying right now. And it's
Mhm.
like, oh man, that was good. Like, this was good, right? That's what people say. That was, you
Right.
even do like the snaps, right? Like, oh man, this was good.
Mhm.
But when you go back tomorrow or the day after, it just becomes like you go right back. You don't
Mhm.
even know that you're doing it because it's such a unconscious programming.
Right.
So who's gonna be in your corner to be like, hey Bree, what you
Of
doing?
no one. Of no one. No one.
Why?
I'm trying to rally up. I'm trying to. I'm trying to pull people in my corner. So, or get into the corners of the people that are doing it, you know?
Have you ever heard me talk about matching your vibrancy with the person you want to be like?
Mm, no.
So let's take Abraham, for example.
Mhm.
Not that you want to be like him because he's making too much money for you. So you don't want to be like
Right?
him, right?
Killing it.
You're like, oh man, I don't need all of that.
Yeah. Insane.
But let's say that was someone you wanted to be like. The idea would be to hang out with him
Right.
because here's what your habits has gotten you to where you are today.
Mhm.
So his habits has gotten him to where he is. So
Right.
like how they talk about you're the sum total of the five people you hang around and all that type of stuff. So
Yeah.
if you stay in your current environment, you're just going to stay the same.
Right.
However, if you put yourself around people that's doing it, now you're on that frequency. It's like
Absolutely.
television and Super Bowl. A lot of people watch the Super Bowl. Millions of people throughout the world watch the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
Now everyone knew about the halftime show.
Right.
This year had Rihanna, and so you've probably had several conversations about Rihanna's performance
Couple.
because you guys were on the same frequency.
Right.
If you try to have a conversation with me about Rihanna's performance, I'll tell you I don't know because I didn't watch it.
Mhm.
So we'll be off frequency. That conversation will last about 5 seconds.
Mhm.
So you have the people that you connect with that's on the same frequency. So now, let's say that channel that you want to be on is to make $1 million a month. Wouldn't it make sense you put yourself on the same channel, like the Super Bowl, as that
Yeah.
person?
Right. Absolutely.
And that's all you have to do to start shifting. Who's the person that you're connecting with that's going to help you get there? You need that person. You need those people.
Mhm.
Trying to do it alone, you're bound to your own thoughts. You're bound to your own
Right.
paradigms.
Right. Yeah. And I don't want to be alone. I'm just maybe the people I'm trying to connect to are just, out of reach. I just I don't know how to get in those circles. You know what I mean?
What do you mean you don't know how to get in the circles?
How do I get into those circles? Like, I mean, but at the same time, like, I don't, who's in my area? I don't see myself flying all over trying to just be in the same circle or vibration. But I guess we have Zooms and things like that, right? To avoid that. Um, I don't know. I don't,
Brianca, you're in North Carolina.
yes, I am.
There's a lot of sub 2 people in North Carolina. A lot.
Okay.
You don't know because you don't want to know, or you don't know because you've talked yourself out of it?
No, I've gone to like one meetup. So I just need to reach out more. I'll do that. I'll
How
reach
many
out.
how many dates did you go on with your husband before you guys got married?
A lot.
What did you expect to happen on your one meetup?
Yeah, you're right. I'm just getting back into this. I just, like I said, 2 weeks ago, you changed my trajectory. So I do need to reach back out to people in my area. I reached out to somebody yesterday that's in this area and I'm like, let's go door knock together, but it's not his way. So I just got to keep knocking on doors. All right, who's going to be willing to do this with me? So
Mhm.
I'll keep hunting them down.
Have you made a post?
About door knocking. Hold on. No, I've made a couple posts, but I did not make one about door knocking. So,
Try that. Make a
okay.
post about door knocking and put your area. Say, hey, this is what I do from this time to this time.
Yep.
But what's the goal? So what's the goal? Is the goal to make quick cash, or is the goal to make cash flow?
Both. To start, immediate goal is cash right now, and
Okay.
then 100% cash flow.
Okay, cool. So
Mhm.
that is a decent strategy to get quick cash.
Yeah.
Door knock in pre foreclosures.
Yeah.
Cool. Could definitely make good quick cash doing that.
Good.
So when you say you need direction, did you want direction to get to 21 doors, or you want direction to make quick cash?
Um, can I have both? Can I be stingy?
You sure?
But it sounds like you said I have a good strategy for the quick cash. So let's talk about your 21 doors. Like, how do I do that? But did
It
you burn all of them or
I mean, we bought them with other people money, so they were all creative deals,
they were all
right?
creative? Wow.
All creative, all sellers who had um more than 4 properties,
Okay.
and we reached. Yep, that was part of my criteria. They needed to have
Okay.
more than 4 properties, and own them over 10 years. The concept behind that is that they're tired and
Mhm.
now they are wanting to get out, and they also would have some experience with possibility with seller finance and subject to and all of that, because they've been around the block, right?
Makes
So
sense.
you get into it, you start talking to them, they they're like, oh yeah, I'm familiar with that. I've sold a house or two like that before, right?
Mhm.
They say yes to you. You just need one person to say yes.
Mhm.
And then what's going to happen after about the third payment? They're going to say, hey, I got another property on William Street that I'm thinking about selling. You think you'd be interested in that? Like, oh man, glad you asked. Right. But that's the
Absolutely.
intention.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Why you want to
targeting people with more than one property. Well, no, go to 4. Because if they
Four,
got
sorry.
4, yeah, 4 is kind of my sweet spot as to um because you could get that second and third, or they'll be more than willing to give you more than one.
Yeah,
Um and plus they know how to they're a real investor. They don't
right.
just have 2 houses because I moved and I just never sold that house, and they
Yes,
got 4 more properties. They kind of in the game, right?
makes
Um
sense.
so yeah, that's kind of the thought process. And build relationships. Relationships is key. You're door knocking, so I believe that you could make relationships. Nobody that don't know how to build relationships door knocks. So you could build that relationship with them, build trust, and then they'll sell you more than one once you get in.
Right. I like that.
But you got to believe first. You got to believe you could do it.
I just need
You just needed what?
I just need a roadmap, like Betsy said, a roadmap, like of the proven. I mean, I believe I can do it. Like you asked me earlier, like how, but you kind of gave me a roadmap, so why not?
You could definitely do it.
Yeah, that's
You-
insane though. Seriously, saying that out loud, it's like what? Like literally, my goal. I would be happy with 3 this year. And you're probably like, "Are you serious? Gosh, your mind is so small." I'm being honest.
you gotta. So, what are you doing to be around bigger thinkers?
Well, nothing right now except following, you on your morning sessions and others. And when you get an opportunity like this one today, I'm like, okay, let me sign up so I can have some proximity, some type of way. Not having a clue that, oh, okay, I'm gonna be on YouTube and whatever right now. I'm like, okay.
You did amazing. You did amazing. Would I be seeing you in the new group, Purpose Ways group coaching sessions that we just launched?
I have to sign up within that 24 hours before you up the price for sure.
I mean, it's a pretty good steal. It's
No,
a
it's a great price.
it's a pretty good
It's a great
steal. So,
price. Yeah,
I mean, the reason why I'm doing it is to be able to guide and
yeah,
to be able to really stick and keep with the mindset of belief. Because if you're saying that being on the daily dial helped you to change the trajectory, like imagine doing way more than that, specified to, like, we'll be doing book studies and all that type of stuff that is. And you're a bookworm, right? You need things to see, hold, touch, like study. And
mhm,
so there will definitely be more like presentation type style teachings, things that you
yeah,
could follow along that would
okay,
kind of be match how you receive knowledge, I guess.
yeah, yeah. I love that.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Any you said you was so afraid. You're like, I don't know what we're gonna talk about. It's been 48 minutes.
It was very vulnerable. I'm not gonna lie.
You said
I, excuse me. Social media. How do I get comfortable with social media? Like, I don't live in that world. So it's funny how you say, like, oh, yeah, you know about Rihanna and so many others, and you didn't. But ask me anything else about pop culture, I will not know. I
mm.
live under a rock, literally. But I keep my
How do you
head, I
live
just try to stay focused.
how do you live under a rock as a realtor? How does that work?
Um, because I did real estate for family, friends, referrals, and then when I joined Sub 2, all I was focused on was getting out of retail sales, and I did. So I'm out of real estate as far as the retail side right now. Now,
Mm,
I will incorporate it for sure on the investments because honestly, that's going to be a new dispo strategy for me. Like,
sure.
okay, you want to try it on the market route? Let's do it. Right now, I'm setting to be a broker of my real estate firm. So
Oh, nice.
I will have that. Yeah. So, yeah, just being able to, once I touch somebody, be able to dispo them in any type of way that works for them,
Yeah.
and not lose that lead. But anyway, back to social media, you kind of stared me away. How the heck? But yeah, social media. Like, I'm a millennial, the last year of millennial. You can look me up and you'll be like, she has very little footprint. So I'm trying to get comfortable, especially learning, and not
Yeah.
knowing
What do you,
investments.
they, do you know how they teach or how they recommend having kids learn to read?
I don't remember. I mean, I
So
remember.
the recommendation is, and it's not only kids, it's everyone. The recommendation is that you start reading books on topics that you like until you like to read.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because even if it means picking up a comic book, let them start reading those things. Because if you give them a novel, they're just going to hate it and throw it away.
For
But
sure.
a comic book is still words, it still goes in chronological order. You could still get a story out of it. They're still learning to read. They're just reading what they enjoy. Now, what do you like to talk about that is something that you enjoy
Hmm.
before starting to talk about something that you're learning? What would that be?
Um, I mean, honestly, it would just be real estate.
Is that the
Nothing's
thing that comes super
interior
easy for
design.
you?
Interior design. It's
Okay.
one of my passions. Music. That's another one.
Okay. So do like this, and just say, talk about music, right? Like
Okay.
you just do like
Okay.
this, and you just start talking about music. You start talking about um, interior design.
Hmm. Okay.
And don't try to be perfect.
Yeah, I'm a Virgo, so I'm learning that one too now. Don't be a perfectionist. Hmm.
Perfectionists are just procrastinators.
I'm 100% procrastinator. Hmm.
See, you don't want me to get started on this. You do not want me to get started on this because that's an identity you built up with yourself.
Hmm.
Anyway, we're not going there. Anything else?
Um, was your wife always on board when
No
you
way. No
engineered
way.
investments? How did you get her to sign up with you, sell out for it?
Lots of arguments. No, but that's not it. I had to
Okay.
I had to ease up. I had to support her in what she wanted to do and not expect her to love what I was doing or wanted for us to do, even though it was, I'm saying like it's for the family and all these different things.
Yeah.
I had to ease up off of that and support her and allow her to do what she wanted to do. And all of a sudden, in turn, it just started to come back. Um,
Hmm.
and so that's probably the main thing. Of course, there's a lot of nuances to it, but it wasn't until I eased up that the she reciprocated in just supporting and being a part of it and stuff like that. And I had to
Awesome.
prove and be successful too, right? That was,
For sure.
yeah. So, but that's a major one.
Yep. After my one question, I jotted those other two. So that was
Look at you. You making steps. You making moves, Brianca. I like it. So,
good.
well, Bri, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here and talking. You have homework to do. You gotta go back and think of that previous version that you that's in there. So just go
Mhm.
back and have that conversation with yourself, reflect, um, and also start kind of looking forward to bigger dreams, big things beyond what people would think of you. You should totally just go test drive a Bentley. Like just go test drive it.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah, go do it. Go test go
Wow.
test drive a very expensive car.
Okay.
Would you do it?
Yeah. Yep.
You look
That's amazing. Limiting myself. Okay. Stop it.
I love it. Any final words?
Eye opening, very vulnerable, but thank you. Thank you for putting a mirror in front of me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is my job. It's my job.
I didn't
So
think you would break through the shell, so I underestimated Yoda.
is that what I'm being called right now?
I don't know, that's what came to my mind.
Oh my goodness. Well, Bree, thank you so much, man, for being here and allowing me to um have this conversation with you. And this is what fires me up. This is what makes me feel fulfilled. Just really being able to listen and guide. That's like I feel like that's the reason why I'm alive, literally, to be able to help. So you being here has helped me in fulfillment. And I just hope that you actually go take action with what I've given,
I
because
will.
that's what would really bring it home. Um, and so thank you so much for your questions, your vulnerability, opening up. Um, because through you, I'm sure other people who are listening and seeing this would hear themselves. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. Guys, we had Bree. What an amazing young lady. What an amazing person. And her story is not unique. There's so many people who are in just the same position where they need that guide. They need someone to help them with the next steps, that clarity. When you have a guide for clarity, it really helps the trajectory, that person who is able to really help you get to the next step. And that's the reason why Purpose Ways, I went with the analogy of the GPS, because once you could know your current location, then your destination becomes clear. Then you could put an address in that GPS and get directions to go there. The only thing you're going to need to do on your own is the execution, which you're going to have faith. Got to have faith to be able to believe and trust. And that's where the community comes in. That's where, when we work together, you could do it. And so I'm super excited. And thank you for everyone that signed up and joined for the Purpose Ways group coaching program that was launched yesterday at my birthday bash. And we have quite a few people. I'm getting a lot of text messages with people saying, like, bro, I signed up, I'm in, and I'm excited for it. This one is going to be really special. It's going to be really special. We're going to be diving into a lot of mindset concepts. We're diving into different books that I already have, books that has helped me transform, books that I read like over 20, 30 times. We're going to go into it in such depth that it's going to be like university style type stuff. And I'm excited because that's also going to push me to do better, to know better, and just take things to another level. So I'm super excited about that as well. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in and joining. See you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern with our another guest for day 15 of Miracle March. Peace and love. Catch you guys next time.